Hello, hello, hello again, value drivers. It's me, Nick Skillicorn, going out there to everyone in the Idea to Value community with another video tip. Today I want to talk about what are the top 5 things you can do to improve your creativity. Now, you'll hear me talk a lot about how creativity isn't actually fixed, how it's not something that you're destined to be born with, that it's something genetic. All the research actually tells us that it's something that can be improved over time because it's predominantly about the environment that we're brought up in, which is the nurture, rather than the nature of the genes that we are born with or how our brain's configured. So, very quickly, what are the top 5 things that you and everyone else can do to actually improve your creativity over time, both in the short term, medium term, and long term? So we'll start out with number 5. Number 5, on a monthly basis, every month, you should be trying to do a creative project for yourself. Now, this is not something that you want to actually be releasing out to the world. This is just something that you want to show to yourself that you can execute on a monthly basis, that you can actually produce a piece of new creative work every month. And then next month, try something slightly different, maybe try a different style, or just try and improve your skills so that every month, once you've executed, once you've said, okay, I've delivered something this month, next month, try to do it a little bit better. And that's how you build your creative skills over time. Not only that, it helps you build your permission to actually go and execute on your creativity. So what about number 4? Number 4 is something you should be doing on a weekly basis. On a weekly basis, you should be making sure that you're going out there and getting new knowledge and new experiences. Because one of the things that kills creativity faster than anything else is routine. You don't want to be stuck in a routine because that enables your brain to just go into autopilot and solve challenges the same way it's always solved them. So one of my favorite pieces of research to back this up is a piece of research by Dr. Simone Ritter from Holland. She wanted to see what a new experience would do on having an impact on someone's creative capability. So she took some of her students in Holland and made them perform a creativity test. But before entering the room to do the test, she asked them to make a sandwich. Now in Holland they've got a type of sandwich which is effectively chocolate sprinkles on toast. And I know it sounds strange, but apparently that's really popular there. So before they came in the room, they had the sprinkles, they took a piece of toast, spread some butter on it, put the sprinkles on, and then went and did their creativity test. Now, what they didn't know is that this is actually a very important part of the test. The next time she asked the same students to come, she said it was for a follow-up test, but she said, okay, just make yourself a sprinkle sandwich again, but this time just follow the instructions that I've sent out, which tell you how to do it. And this time she told the students to take a piece of toast, put the butter on the toast, but put the sprinkles on a plate, and then take the upside down piece of toast, push it buttered side down into the sprinkles, and turn it upside down again. This gave you the same result as spreading the butter and putting the sprinkles on top, but in a completely different way of achieving this. And when the students then went and did the creativity test subsequently, they had a 14% boost in their creative capability. And the theory is that when you have new experiences and you try new things, first of all, it cuts you out of your routine and cuts you out of autopilot. And that allows your brain to have the permission to try new things and to be creative. The thing related to that, which you should also be doing on a weekly basis, is to make sure you're gaining new experiences and new knowledge. Because ideas are based on combinations of previous pieces of knowledge, previous seeds of information. So the more seeds of information you can gather, the more ways your brain can fit those together into new creative ideas. So new experiences, new ways of working, getting out of your routines, that's something you should be doing at least on a weekly basis, if not more frequently. The third thing, the number 3 thing you should be doing, is to make sure that every day you're making notes of what creative challenge you're actually trying to solve, and making a note of the idea that you're actually attempting to do that with. And what I mean by this is, if you have a challenge that you've been trying to solve for the past week or the past month and you just can't get over it, sometimes it's due to the fact that you're not actually focusing on executing. You're just doing busy work rather than being productive. So you set yourself the challenge and you write down an idea that you're going to try today. And you try that idea and you note down whether or not it worked. If it worked, great, then you've solved the challenge, you can go on to the next thing. But if it didn't work, then make sure tomorrow you try something different. And this way, every day you make a note of what hasn't worked. This gets you closer and closer to the solution which will ultimately work. It also makes you a lot more focused on being productive rather than just busy. So the number 2 thing that you should be doing out of the top 5 is every day you should be having at least 15 minutes worth of unfocused time. People often ask me why they have their best ideas when they're not at their desk, and the old saying that you have your best ideas in the shower, it's actually quite true. You have your best divergent ideas that come to you when you're not expecting them, when your brain is in a more relaxed, what's called alpha state. This is when it's not spending all of its energy focusing on the task specifically in front of it, which is when you're in a beta brain state, but instead is a bit more relaxed and has the ability for random new connections to form and actually be brought up into your consciousness. And the best way to achieve this is to actually make sure that you have some time when you allow your brain to not be focused and to get out of this beta state, get into the alpha state. Now, one of the distractions that we have nowadays, which really prevents us from doing this, is screens. So unfocused time is when you're not focused on a screen like a smartphone, like a computer monitor, like a television, or even reading things like books, adverts, magazines, whatever that might be, not having conversations with anyone, because that takes your focus to focus on as well, and not even listening to things that have text or lyrics or spoken words in them. Instead, you should have 15 minutes every day when you're just allowing your brain to spend time within itself, letting your mind wander and letting it explore avenues that it hadn't had the permission to do on a day-to-day basis. If you do this, then you'll have a much more likely, sorry, it looked like my battery was a bit low there. You'll have a much more higher likelihood of coming up with an idea. And then finally, something you should be doing every day is you should be setting yourself daily creativity challenges, actually going out and being creative. The best way I recommend doing this is going to my website. I've got something called the Deep Creativity Training Course, which is a set of creativity challenges that you set yourself every day. These are things that don't have a right answer, so they actually force your brain to be creative in ways that it wouldn't normally be. So those are the top 5 things that you should be doing on a daily basis. If you like this video, please share it with someone. Leave a comment below as to what videos you want me to talk about from the subjects of creativity and innovation in the future. Share it. Please subscribe to be notified every time I do a new video. And go to www.ideatovalue.com and make sure you sign up for our membership. All right? Thank you so much for joining me. Let's speak again soon.
Thank you so much for listening. If you liked it, please like, share and subscribe, and leave me a comment about what you thought and what you'd like to see more about. If you want to take your creativity and innovation capabilities to the next level, then invest in yourself with the premium training only available at ideatovalue.com. These exclusive training modules have all been put together by me, Nick Skillicorn, and have been used by thousands of artists, innovation leaders and CEOs to become better at understanding the source of their creativity and executing on their innovation ambitions. And there is no risk to you, as they are backed by our money-back guarantee. Now, don't forget to go out there and make your ideas a reality. See you again soon.